All right, it's time to predict what's going to go down between Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. Obviously, guys, it's fight week, Saturday night. It's all going to go down. Regis Prograis and Devin Haney at 140 pounds. This is going to be Devin Haney's debut. What are we going to expect from this big fight? I think it's going to be a good one. I think, Regis is going to go in there with that heavy hitter style. He said he's going to go in there to fight Devin. They had a little face-to-face. Devin was talking about how Regis Prograis doesn't have a chin, and Regis obviously rebutted with that big line saying, name the people that you've knocked out. You haven't knocked out anybody who was, important to mention. No notable names on your resume when it comes to stopping guys, saying he doesn't have power. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I think Devin Haney has to make a big statement because a lot of people were talking about him being a weight bully at 135. So at 140, we're expecting him to look better because he has that 5 pounds of that extra 5 pounds to play with now that he's not fighting at 135 anymore. He doesn't have to suck down all the way to 135. So we're expecting that to play a big factor. Will he carry more power than he has in the past because he's at 140 now, or will he have that same level of power? Because if he does have the same level of power, it may be a harsh and cruel awakening for him because this is his first fight at 140 and he's going in straight for a big dog in Regis Prograis. And I think Regis can really have a moment in this fight. And what I mean by that, I think that if he lands one big shot, it could really change the course of the fight. But I'm going to go with Devin. I have to go with Devin just based off of the fact that I think that he's going to be a little bit too slick. I think he's going to be too quick in there. Regis, a lot of people are talking about how he's flat-footed, but he still has explosivity. He still has that ability to explode out of nowhere and land a really short shot. He's a very good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I just think that Devin might be a little bit more elite. If Regis Prograis is a B- fighter, Devin Haney he's got to be at least an A or an A- fighter. You know what I mean? And Shakur Stevenson, I think if we want to throw him into the mix, obviously a 35-pounder, him and Tank. I always say that it goes, Tank, Shakur, and then, Devin's there. So these are all top dogs. So it's going to be interesting to see how Devin matches up with yet another heavy hitter. Coming off that win against Vasily Lomachenko, that was a little bit controversial, I guess you could say, in the decision. But I didn't think it was a dominant performance from either guy to call it a robbery either way, no matter what the outcome would have been or could have been. Obviously, Devin Haney ended up getting that decision win, and a lot of people had a lot to say about it, but this is going to be an interesting fight for Devin. We're going to get to see his debut, his first fight at 140. He talked a lot about not being able to make 135 pounds. So now that he's at 140, he really has no excuse but to perform. And I think a lot of people are expecting a major performance from Devin, and he has to rise up to the occasion, because if he has a poor performance or we see that jaw get tested again and then we see his legs wobble like they did against Jorge Linares, he's going to get criticized for that. People are going to start talking on Twitter and his stock could go down. So this is a very risky fight. But I really also have to give Devin Haney his flowers, because who's really fighting the best fighters? Who's fighting the best competition, to the best of their abilities right now? He's a shot caller. He could fight anybody at 140. He doesn't have to go for, a big dog like Regis Prograis. He could fight like a guy like Jose Ramirez and probably outbox him easily. But he's fighting a heavy hitter, and I think he wins the fight. I think he wins the fight in a decision. I don't think he stops Regis. Maybe beats him up a little bit, but I can't count out Regis as well. I would say it's like a 70-30 split for Devin. I like Devin in this fight just stylistically. I think he's going to be a little bit too elusive, a little bit too quick for Regis to time. It's going to be about picking moments for Regis if he wants to pull this win out. It's not going to be easy, because this is one of the most slickest boxers. One of the blue chip prospects that came up and now is a superstar pound for pound. Great at the moment in the sport of boxing, in my opinion. But Devin's gonna get tested for sure in this fight, and I think that he will hold up. I expect Devin to face a little bit of adversity against Regis, and Regis to surprise a lot of people, but I still think that Devin is a little bit, too youthful right now, a little bit too strong, especially at 140. I think he's going to have a little bit more pep in his step. As he's going to feel more comfortable in his body at 140. Those 5 pounds, I think, are going to make a big difference. And depending on how good he looks, that'll determine whether he could potentially get another shot at becoming undisputed at 140 eventually. That could lead to, bigger fights. Even though he said that's not his goal, I think that Devin really he needs a big performance. I think he needs a really dominant win to bring those new fans and to increase that stock and get people more excited about him and guys like Shakur, him and guys like Tank, for Devin to fight, because those are the fights that make the most sense when it comes to financial outcome and reward. So I know Tank's still at 35, Shakur's at 35, but I think when Devin fights those guys, it's gonna be big. But let me know in the comments who you guys got. Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney. I'm gonna go with Devin Haney by unanimous decision. I think that Devin's just gonna be a little bit too much, a little too talented on that night. But you never know. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. Leave your predictions down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another NASFight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.